What's up? Welcome back to the Metalhead Car Show. This is a video I've been waiting to do for a long time. Now, if you followed me, I've done so many videos on the Iron Maiden's Future Past tour, and I've been waiting to do this video, but Iron Maiden has been so quiet about it. But with the full lineup being released for Aftershock 2024 and Iron Maiden being on it, we can actually narrow down who's going to be opening for this tour. Now, why is the opening band that important? Well, it's a part of the show. It's a part of who you're paying to see. So it's kind of good to know what your money's actually going to. And also, it's like the longest Iron Maiden's ever waited to announce an opening band. So that part's kind of weird. Now, yes, for a lot of the South American dates, I know Volbeat is opening, but for the entirety of the North American tour leg, nothing has been announced. So here's where I'm going with this. Iron Maiden's playing on the third day of the festival, and there's a lot of good bands on there. Now, what I think is one of the bands playing on that day will be Iron Maiden's opening band for the 2024 North American leg of the Future Past tour. And honestly, there's a lot of solid bands. To name some, we have Breaking Benjamin, Anthrax, POD, Sleeping with Sirens, Whitechapel, Judas Priest, Clutch, Rival Sons, Bad Wolf, Body Count, Tech Nine. So there's a lot of really good bands to pick from, but who's it gonna be? So we can knock some bands out like Sleep with Sirens, Tech Nine, Whitechapel. Now, despite they might be great bands, I don't think they'd work well for Iron Maiden's opener. But one thing I've always noticed is the more modern hardcore bands don't perform that well with Iron Maiden's crowd. In my time of seeing Iron Maiden, the opening bands have been Dream Theater, Alice Cooper, Black Tide, The Raven's Age, Killswitch Engage, and Ghost. And I can tell you, Dream Theater did really well, Alice Cooper did really well, Ghost did really well, but Black Tide, The Raven's Age, and Killswitch Engage were much harder sell for that crowd. Nothing against those bands, but I'm saying for this show, it didn't work that well. So who do I think it's going to be? Well, I can't not look at Judas Priest. So why would Judas Priest work? Well, it's safe to say the bulk of Iron Maiden fans are also huge Judas Priest fans. And along with that, despite Judas Priest is playing in North America early in the year, this is about 6-7 months later, and they have actually done that before. I think it was back in 2018. They did a tour headlining on the Firepower album, and later that year came back supporting Deep Purple on that whole tour. So Judas Priest isn't opposed to stepping down and being the opener for a band like this. And much like the bulk of the bands on here, Judas Priest's whole tour schedule is actually open after very late September. So for Judas Priest, it'd be September 27th, I think, 4 days off, and then opening for Maiden for the rest of the tour. So very well could be Priest. I think those shows would go down really well. And I don't think there'd be any bullshit with bands. I think that the whole tour would be an absolute blast for everyone. So I'm not going to ignore bands like Clutch or Rival Sons. I think having a rock band at these shows would actually work really well, but having a metal band would work much better. Now, Breaking Benjamin wouldn't be too far from the bands they tend to book. Again, having bands like the Raven Age, Killswitch Engage, they had Atreyu play with them in September, but they were in Canada for the Future Past tour. Maiden does tend to book a lot of hardcore bands, but there's one band I think would work much better, and that is Anthrax. Now, Iron Maiden has toured with Anthrax multiple times. They're like one of the main opener bands for the No Prayer on the Road tour. They did some shows together in 2013, I think 2012. The two bands actually have a really good relationship and history together. But why Anthrax? Well, a lot of the fans would be into it. Anthrax does actually put on an awesome, really fun, high-energy show. And much like Judas Priest, as of September 27th, 28th, their schedule is open. But why I'm saying Anthrax is they're actually back in the UK in like November, right when the North American leg is starting to wrap up and they go into South America where they have Volbeat opening for them. So the entire time Iron Maiden is in North America is this blank area in Anthrax's tour schedule. And seeing as though Iron Maiden's North America tour schedule actually ends about 3 days before Anthrax starts in the UK, I think this could work. But I want to know, what do you think? Not who do you want to open for Maiden, but who do you think is going to open for Maiden? I do believe it's going to be one of the bands who is performing on the same day of Aftershock as Iron Maiden, who is going to be supporting Iron Maiden on the North American Future Past Tour. So based on that, who do you think it's going to be? Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed what you've seen. I post on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and I'll see you later.